Don't fight against something, fight for something. I think this is a really, really important principle if we can grasp, especially in the world that we live in today and all that we see, in social media, in mainstream media, in all of the sources of information that we have around us. We see this division. And this is because when you think about fighting, at least what comes to mind for me, it's boxing, right? And there it's a sport where, people fight against each other. And in that kind of fight, in order for one person to win, another person has to lose. For one side to win, it means that the other side loses. And what I challenge you to do right now is to look at your life, look at the way you do things, and identify where is that you're fighting against someone else or something else or some ideology. And we all see this division. It's this party or the other party. It's the this team or the other team. Is this side or the other side. And we don't want to get there. This is dividing people. What we want to do is we want to identify what is the common ground. What is the common ground? What's the one thing that we could all fight for that serves both parties, right? And when you think about this idea of fighting for something compared to fighting against something, things change completely. Your perspective will completely change, and you would look for similarities in instead of looking for what separates us. I think this is a huge principle. If you can just take a moment and kind of identify where in your life, where in your business, because I know in many businesses there is the financial department fighting with the commercial department or the marketing department with the sales department and so on, and saying it's not us, it's the other department, it's the other team, it's not our fault. They don't do their work, or they haven't provided us the tools, they haven't negotiated the right contract. They. I lived it from both sides. I was supplier, I was customer. When on the customer side, the supplier is always the one that didn't do the work. When you're a supplier, you say the customer doesn't understand our challenges, and so on. It's always us and them. But if we can just for one moment get out of this mindset of us and them, and actually step into a mindset of what's the one thing that we could all fight for. In my automotive career, I know that the one thing that we all could fight for, all departments, supplier, customers, OEM, right? The company was customer for that supplier. We could all fight for the greatest good of the final customer, right? So the person buying that car, driving that car, that's the common ground where, the OEM, the company, and the supplier could come on common ground and fight for the best thing and the best outcome for the best product, the best customer experience for that specific product. Instead of fighting against each other and trying to explain why we are not on time for this project, because it's very easy to blame someone else. It's very, very easy to blame someone else. So I really challenge you to identify where in your life, where in your business, are you using this language? And whenever you hear yourself saying them and us, that's a sign that you're fighting against someone, something, a group, a company, an idea. And you want to challenge that thought and look at what are some ways that we could work together? How can I bring these two things together, right? Instead of keeping them separate. I really think this is a challenging thought, and I really invite you to reflect a little bit. And when you catch yourself saying them, you want to, reflect a little bit. What makes you see them differently? And what makes you say them and us? And what would be a better approach? What would be one thing that you could both fight for? I really would be interested to learn your thoughts, to hear your thoughts about this idea. So please share this, comment below, and let us start the conversation here. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.